What things should people never Google? Suggestion: if you're worried about seeing images, use Urban Dictionary. There was this band from Indonesia a few years back. I don't know if they are still around. They are a hardcore punk band, and they are named after a song called Under 18 by a classic NYC hardcore band called Warzone. A song about shows being all ages and generally inclusive. My friend was over at my place and I played them for him. He decided to Google them for more info. He searched Under 18 Indonesian hardcore on my computer. I'm definitely on a list somewhere because of him. My first thought was the name of the show you are watching on Netflix, because you get spoilers. Boy, am I an innocent. Any symptoms you have, trying to figure out what's wrong with you through Google is the quickest way to freak yourself out. Cyclopia human. I made the mistake after watching Futurama. One of the characters, Lily, only has one eye. But human cyclopia is a little birth defect and not the cool sci-fi stuff I expected. Seriously. Do not Google it. Tukhchar massacre / Dagestan beheading massacre films. Russian soldiers surrendered to extremist forces hoping to become POWs. Unfortunately, they were deceived and Chechen commander Umar Idil Sultanov ordered his soldiers to cut the prisoners' throats as revenge for his fallen comrades. You'll get to listen to the cries of young men and their futile efforts to stay alive in these tapes. One year my mom bought some female relatives some nice winter coats, red with black fur trim. She wanted to get matching hand warmers, called muffs. So she Googled black muffs. It did not go well. Carbuncle, you think you're going to see the cute little blue fox creature from Final Fantasy. You won't. Tub girl. Too bad feeling lucky doesn't exist anymore. First off, in the rare case you're using a shared work computer, front desk, production room, lab, etc., you should always Google in incognito mode. That way when other people, like me for example, use the computer that was previously used by my coworker for example, you don't see local abortion clinics as a recent search term when you're trying to find a local pizzeria, for example, and treat that as the reason why you're working the holidays because said coworker is sick. For example, 1 man 1 jar, 2 girls 1 cup, MR, hands, 2 kids 1 sandbox, degloving, ring avulsion. This is basically just gore. r/ibleach have been warned. If you still dare to continue, here's r/ibleach so you can recover from the trauma. As an atheist it pains me to say it, but after reading this thread, y'all motherduckers need Jesus. * caution weary travelers. For you are not prepared for what lies ahead. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this, r/a**. Nikki Katsauer's car accident pictures. Very gruesome photos were leaked by the Highway Patrol in 2006 and spread online like wildfire after she crashed her dad's Porsche. Don't look it up if you are squeamish. It's basically a teenage girl hanging out of a mangled car with an even more mangled head that's been crushed. I'm probably too late for this to be seen, but there's a video from a family's dashcam as they are driving down the highway. A brick falls off a truck or something and goes through their windshield and hits the wife in the passenger seat. You can't see anything cause the gore is all behind the camera. But you can hear the husband's reaction when he realizes that she's dead. The screams are haunting. The Earthlings documentary. Couldn't bring myself to watch all of it. But clips of a live stray dog being thrown into a dump truck to be compacted to death and a living skinned tanuki blinking and moving on top of a pile of dead tanukis was enough for me to want to die. Also, Steven Sadler and Boots Stanley of Louisiana slitting a pitbull's throat on Snapchat. There's a lot of pictures and videos in here that are good selections to never Google. So, I'll suggest something different. The transcript of the Toy Box Killer tapes is a highly disturbing read. The full audio was never released to my knowledge. For anyone curious, it's the first thing his victims would hear when they woke up strapped to a modified gynecological chair. where he describes in graphic detail everything he's going to do to them over the coming days, weeks, maybe months. Read about the case, but skip the full transcript. Funky Town, live leak. Don't know if it's still around, but it's a video of a man captured by a Mexican cartel that got his hands cut off, and all the skin from his torso, arms, and face all flayed off while he's still alive and attempting to speak. All the while, the song Funky Town is playing in the background. Still the most horrifying sounds I've ever heard and is forever burned into my brain. Guys, if you don't explain what the item you suggest is, we will Google it because of curiosity. Please explain. How to make a bomb. Seriously. Do not Google this. Last time, a man tried Googling it and ended up in investigation. His curiosity ended up like this. Butt glazing is an architectural term for a type of window glass arrangement, but I can attest that you shouldn't Google butt glazing on the computer at the architecture firm where you work. There's this audio where a dude gets eaten by a bear, but I can't remember what it's called because I've suppressed the memory so bad. Being completely honest, I haven't watched any of these. Mostly because of the reaction people had when they are mentioned. 1. 3 guys 1 hammer 2. 1 lunatic 1 ice pick 3. Brick video, it's on YouTube. 4. Funky Town, not the song. Bobby, yeah. It's the only online video I ever came across that not only unsettled me deeply but made me feel like vomiting for a very long time after. It's some bizarre claymation video that could be passed off as art about a somewhat Tim Burton sequel character's misadventures. It quickly unravels into something disturbing and disgusting with a visceral, surreal feeling of 80s campy FX, but with clay. It was so gross, I didn't even finish it. I saw it maybe 6 years ago, but if it crosses my mind I still wish I hadn't seen it. Not sure if it's a personal thing, but that one sat very badly with me. I teach a social science sexuality course on the undergrad level and my entire life is risky Googles. Fortnite burger. Net. I mean, it's not close to a burger. It's Wreck-It Ralph with his pongage schlong. People won't upvote this, but here is a list of things I think people would consider very disturbing. 1 lunatic 1 ice pick, snuff film. 2. 3 guys 1 hammer 3. 1 guy 1 JAR 4. Japanese YTPMVs/mads such as Gachimaki and Ren Ru, if you know some history behind it. It will be funny though. 5. Family suicides, e.g. son kills himself in front of parents. 6. Cartel beheading. 7. Bestiality sites, accessible in some countries but could be illegal. 8. Books written by pedos and such forums. 9. Eel pornography. 10. Scat pornography. When your child has a rash in their private parts, just go ask the doctor rather than Googling for other pics to compare. Disease symptoms. Literally every time I checked any disease's symptom, all the help it did to me was convince me I had the said disease and made me more concerned. Doctors exist for a reason. Inappropriate images of children. First off, it's disgusting and you're a pedo and deserve to go to prison for life. Brooke Shields nude. She was 10 when pictures of her were taken by Playboy photographers, with her mother's permission, and published in a Playboy publication, not the magazine itself. Those pictures are out there, and legal. But I'm pretty sure they put you on a list that you don't want to be on. How to set up a thumb drive that opens up a 100% clean, no identifying data. Install of Kali Linux, which you then use to ward drive your neighborhood for exploitable Wi-Fi hotspots, which you then connect to with a spoofed Wi-Fi MAC address so you can Google search anything you want. How to perform a self-lobotomy. After a 3-week-long migraine, I was desperate to find a cure, and curious, lo and behold, there were the instructions complete with diagrams. Lucky for me in my brain, the migraine went away on its own. This title should actually be shit I'm going to reluctantly Google the second I get a chance. R. Bud Dwyer. It's a video on YouTube of a Pennsylvania politician shooting himself on live TV. Symptoms. If you write something like "Is it normal to have headache and feel dizzy?" Google says that you may have e.g. brain tumor. Reddit. Because if they do, they'll instantly become a 30-year-old virgin in their mom's basement. Everything Google sells your identity. Use a less blatantly hostile service like DuckDuckGo instead.